How to make a Tunisian foundation chain. Just like with normal crochet, you need to make a foundation chain first. In Tunisian crochet, you also need to work a whole foundation row made up of a forward and return pass. This foundation row almost always remains the same, regardless of the type of Tunisian stitches you are using. You make chains in the same way as normal crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook and pull through the loop. To follow along with this video, make 15 chains. Try to keep your tension loose. How to do the forward pass on a foundation row. To begin the forward pass of your foundation row, insert the hook into the second chain from the hook. Wrap your yarn around the hook and pull this loop through the chain. You will now have 2 loops on your hook. Repeat this in each chain along, putting 1 stitch onto the hook for each chain until you have worked into the last chain. When you finish the forward pass, you should have 1 loop on the hook for each chain you started with. With a chain of 15, there should be 15 loops on the hook. Do not work into the slip knot at the end. How to do the return pass on a foundation row. To complete your foundation row, you now need to work the return pass, which works the loops back off the hook. You will have your foundation Tunisian stitches on the hook with the right side of the work facing you. Do not turn. You will be working back along the row from left to right. Wrap yarn around hook and pull the hook through the first loop on the hook only. In Tunisian crochet patterns, this is sometimes called chain 1 because the action is exactly the same as making 1 chain stitch. Wrap the yarn around the hook and draw the yarn through the next 2 loops on the hook. Then just repeat, wrapping yarn around hook and pull through 2 loops at a time until there is 1 loop remaining on the hook. This return pass is the same for many basic Tunisian crochet stitches, and you will see it referred to as the standard or basic return pass. You have completed the return pass, and the loop left on your hook will make the first stitch of the next row. How to do the Tunisian Simple Stitch forward pass. We'll now show you how to work the basic Tunisian Simple Stitch, which is sometimes also called the Afghan stitch. With the right side of the work facing you, you'll see the vertical strands of yarn that were created in the forward pass of the foundation row. Skip the strand on the outside edge of the work and insert the hook from right to left underneath the next vertical strand. Wrap yarn around hook and draw the yarn through the vertical strand of yarn. You will now have 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this across. Insert the hook underneath the next vertical strand. Wrap yarn round hook and draw through in the same way. Keep going until you have worked into all the strands across the row except for the last strand on the outside edge of the work. Up to this point, you've been inserting the hook into the front of the vertical loops that were created on the previous row, but there is also a corresponding strand at the back for each loop. For the last stitch of the row, insert your hook underneath the front and back of the loop on the outside edge, so there are 2 strands on the hook. Wrap yarn around hook and pull through as before. This creates a firm edge to your Tunisian crochet fabric, which mirrors the appearance of the edge on the other side. With the forward pass complete, you can work the return pass in the same way as you did on the foundation row. Let's go over the Tunisian Simple Stitch forward and return pass again. So, to do the forward pass, skip the first strand on the outside edge of the work. Insert the hook from right to left underneath the next vertical strand. Wrap yarn round hook and draw the yarn through the vertical strand of yarn. Repeat in each strand across up to the last strand. Don't forget that for the last stitch of the row, you need to insert your hook underneath the front and back of the loop on the outside edge. So there are 2 strands on the hook, then wrap yarn round hook and pull through. That's your forward pass complete. For your return pass, wrap yarn round hook and pull the hook through the first loop on the hook only. Then wrap yarn round hook and draw the yarn through the next 2 loops on the hook. Repeat along the row, wrapping yarn round hook and pulling through 2 loops at a time until there is 1 loop remaining on the hook. And now you've completed your return pass. Keep working Tunisian Simple Stitch for as many rows as you need to create your fabric. How to finish off Tunisian crochet. To finish off your piece of Tunisian crochet, insert your hook into the next vertical strand. Don't forget to skip the first one on the edge. Wrap yarn round hook and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook. Repeat across the row to form a neat slip stitch edge. Then just fasten off as normal. And that's how to do Tunisian crochet.